Hey guys, my name is Ryan.
And my name is Miska.
And welcome to Overwatch Central. So this is something that we used to do quite a while ago, actually. We called it OST, which is on second thought, and we basically take some footage, have a look at it, talk about stuff that's going on screen, and talk about the hero that we're playing, the map that we're on. But this one, we specifically want to go over Anna in competitive for a very straightforward reason. She's pretty damn good. I've had the opportunity to play her a couple of times and won every opportunity that I've had playing her on attack. So we just wanted to do this video talking about why Anna's so good, maybe compare her to Zenyatta a little bit, and talk about what's sort of happening on screen. As you can see, one amongst many, and Max from Cynical Nerds Futile joined me in trio queue. We got the payload to... We lost the first objective, but sort of halfway through the payload track for the second objective, so we just have to push it past that. So... pretty much straightforwardly, Miska, have you been playing a lot of Anna? Have you had a lot of Anna in your team, and how has she been going for you?
Well, I haven't played her a lot myself since, more recently. I've played her a little bit now and then, but I wouldn't say like a lot. What has happened though is that people have picked Anna quite a lot when I played competitive, and a lot of those players have actually played her really well. And we won a lot of those games, because it's kind of nice to have a Zenyatta and Anna sometimes. It means that you got pretty good damage potential and just even more utility than normally. And the grenade is a game changer so many times as well, because if there's a Zenyatta on defense, for example, and you're going in and they pop a defensive transcendence, then the biotic grenade can kind of counter that a lot of the time, which is really nice. So yeah, I feel like Anna has really found her place now that mainly the supports are just more balanced overall, so Anna's just more viable. That's my main sort of point, I guess you could say.
One of the main sort of issues with Anna last season is that she was like released during the season that was going on, and we did a video talking about this because a lot of people had issues with the fact that people were trying to play her and she'd like been out a couple of days or a week or whatever it was, and they were like, don't play Anna, play something else instead. Because she is quite a difficult hero to play, but at the same time, the more that I've actually had the chance to play her, she doesn't seem that difficult to play at all. I don't know if that's just me. I don't know whether you agree on that or not.
It's kind of hard to say. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say that she is difficult to play overall, but I would say that you can have a lot of sort of varying performance with her due to how different she can play, in depending on the map, depending on the team, and where she finds her spot in the team. Personally, I like to put her behind a Reinhardt when attacking, sort of like you guys are doing to some extent, but like really sort of abusing that, as some people like to say. Just standing behind a Reinhardt, letting him take body damage as well, actually tank damage with his own body rather than the shield sometimes, and just spamming the sniper shots into him, because just holding down the left mouse button or just spamming it will allow for a quite ridiculous heal per minute, or whatever you want to call it. I would say it's quite underrated even. So that's where I like to normally have her on a team, even if I'm the Reinhardt or the Anna. And I would say that's pretty effective. I mean, you can see here as well, they just having the occasional boost as well, whether it's on like an offense character or Reinhardt himself, is really handy.
I put it on Max and he wasn't expecting it at all. He's like, okay. It's a really interesting ult, and as you said, paired up with a Reinhardt, you can't really... you could put it on a Reaper or a Mei. Mei does wonders when she's nano boosted, but I think Reinhardt is the be-all end-all choice of ulting and stuff, and situations like this, she's great on, I think, pure payload maps, Gibraltar, Dorado, and Route 66, just because once she's on that payload, she's very difficult to get off. And if there's people on her team just pushing a little bit ahead, like Josh and Max are there, even though Josh died, it's great to have that you're still moving the payload whilst your team is fighting quite a fair bit away from you. Like, nobody's really giving me any stress here, but I'm still doing my job. That was an amazing graviton surge, because it actually saved the Zarya's life, because the Reinhardt charged it.
I saw.
But at this point in the game, like, it's difficult for capture points as well, because it's very static, very stop-start, but once that payload's sort of still moving, we haven't sort of lost control of it yet. People have died and stuff, but we've always been involved, and Yeah, I think she's great. I don't necessarily think she's better than Zenyatta in a lot of situations, but I think she's a lot easier to pick up. I don't know.
I would say that like the main thing really about it, like I mentioned before, is since the supports are more balanced, she's just so much more viable now. Because it was always a question before that, oh, should we play Ana here, or should we try out, or like when should we play her? And now it's a little bit sort of easier to understand when you should be playing her due to how much more balanced the supports are. So sometimes you might actually go, no, Ana might actually be pretty strong here and might be the pick in front of Zenyatta. Whilst before you would just go, Zenyatta's just really fucking good right now, let's play him, you know?
Yes, yeah, I agree.
So I'd say that's the main thing. Difficulty doesn't really get in the way. And also boosting, like we mentioned before, is incredibly strong. Boosting a Winston and then having him ult just after it or during it is so much stall, and stalling is always very important, and that works in any scenario.
In terms of other game modes like Control, I don't necessarily know if she's a good pick on Control at all, and even sort of defending or capture points. What would you say for people that want kind of play supports and like want to throw Ana into their mix of heroes that they play? Would you just say pure payloads? Would you say hybrid maps like Hollywood, like this one, or what would you suggest as somebody that plays stuff like Zarya and Genji as well? Where do you want to see an Ana on your team?
So I feel like Ana is actually very much affected by positioning in terms of how effective she is, both in the way that on Control, for example, the positioning works very differently for both teams, and that is not in favor for Ana really. So that's more of a negative experience overall. Whilst on hybrid maps in the first choke, she can be very effective on both attack and defense, because both times she'll most likely be lined up behind a Reinhardt and she can keep spamming, get that ult very quickly, and that can, you know, crush a push or boost your own push and be really effective there. On pure payload maps, I would say maybe not. Like, I would say the start of a hybrid map is actually really solid for Ana. So on a payload maps, maybe it's more of a sort of neutral experience. So if we go from, go through the different game modes, on Control, sort of a negative experience. Pure payload, bit of a neutral one, slightly favored and slightly positive. And then on hybrid maps, I would say that she's fairly favored on both sides.
Cool. So yeah, I think that's generally everything we wanted to go over with Ana. A couple of people have brought it up, and I think she's a great hero to play. I think very much like
play
stuff
Ana.
Like, yeah,
do it.
Very much. Was it play nice, play Pharah? But instead it's play Ana.
Yeah.
But also, you know, stuff like Symmetra stuff works now and again, and because it's a time-based system and you have to do it quickly, or the quicker the better, you put a lot of pressure on your enemy team when you do the map like in 3 minutes, 4 minutes or whatever. It's a really solid pick, but you have to know when and where to play her.
Yeah, I would also say, real quick before we leave, really, we talked about other supports earlier, and playing an Ana up against like a Zenyatta on, say, a defending team, so you're attacking with Ana and there's a Zenyatta on defense. Another thing is that since Zenyatta will pretty much always be quite high up or in the back, you know, he wants to kind of overlook the battlefield. Most of the time you will be able to see him, and that means that you can just pop a couple of shots his way, and just 2 sniper shots will get him very low and will force him to retreat, and that can be very annoying as a Zenyatta sometimes. And then when he does want to pop the ultimate, that's when you throw the grenade. So overall, Ana is pretty good against the Zenyatta too, which is really, really nice.
Yeah, and I think that's pretty much everything we wanted to go over with Ana. I kind of miss doing videos like this, just sort of watching some footage and talking casually about the game and what we think. So if this is something that you would like us to continue doing again, maybe get some of your guys' footage to watch and say what we see sort of thing, what we like and what we could say to improve on, then do let us know in the comments and like this video if you want to see more of it. And that's pretty much everything for this time. Thank you very much for watching. Take care, and we'll see you next time.